Good afternoon and welcome to the latest episode of Print21, the weekly video news bulletin for the Australia New Zealand print industry. Diversified Marketing Communications Group and the country's biggest print operation, IVE, saw its profits rise strongly on flat revenue in the first half of the financial year. IVE is now building a new 42,000 square metre print supersite at Kemps Creek in Sydney's west, with the site expected to be fully operational by March next year. The new supersite will house its commercial print and packaging print, which are currently located in its long-term home in Silverwater, and it will also house its brand activations display print operation, which currently operates from Granville. The new Kemps Creek site will also house the company's CX, customer experience and data business. They now run from Homebush. And it will also host the paper storage for its web offset operation, which is currently stored in Warwick Farm. IVE's investment in its packaging business continues unabated. It will spend some $18 million this year in packaging capex, including sheet-fed presses, die cutters and folder gluers. IVE says the $15 million worth of available capacity it had at Jackpat when it bought it has now been taken up, meaning that's now a $60 million a year operation, with the new Sydney site to add a further $30 million. Phase 2 of the folding carton plan has a 5-year time frame and a $150 million a year target. IVE's EBITDA, EBIT, net profit after tax and margins were all up in the first half on what was itself a record prior corresponding period. The IFRS NPAT more than doubled to $27.1 million, which the company attributed to a strong uplift in underlying profitability, and that coupled with significant reduction in non-operating items. Sales revenue was up a smidgen on the same period last year, rising by 0.4% to $507.8 million in the 6 months. EBITDA rose by 12.6% to $74 million. EBIT was up by 23% to $51 million, while NPAT surged by 29.1% to $29.3 million. IVE is investing in new Koenig & Bauer sheet-fed presses for its packaging business and, as I mentioned, in die cutters and folder gluers. It will invest that $18 million building its packaging capacity this year, and that figure is net of proceeds from this disposal of existing equipment. The new Kemps Creek supersite will also provide additional space to accommodate further expansion, particularly to facilitate Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the packaging strategy. Phase 2, that's the targeting growth in the folding carton work from $90 million when Phase 1 is achieved up to $150 million a year. Groundworks on the new site have just commenced, with practical completion expected around the end of this year, and the new site will be operational March next year. It's close to transport hubs and to IVE's Erskine Park and Huntingwood sites, bringing, says IVE, the majority of its Western Sydney teams much closer together. The $50 million Huntingwood site, that was opened just 7 years ago, and that houses the new heat-set web offset business that came from IVE's acquisition of Franklin Web. The Visual Media Association, VMA, has revealed that HP and Curry Group are the platinum sponsor of the 2025 National Print Awards. The 2025 awards will be the 40th iteration of Print's major awards, and this year have new categories to reflect an evolving industry. The VMA says the sponsorship reinforces the commitment of HP and Curry Group to excellence across the Australian print industry. The call for entries has now been issued. The awards are direct entry this year. There's no pikers. Go to storyandprint21.com.au for all the details and the links to access the awards. The Visual Media Association is actually currently touring its annual industry metrics survey, and that's going around the country. They're sharing the results of the survey and enabling print businesses to benchmark themselves across what everyone else has said. The Metrics Roadshow has been hosted at Ricoh showrooms in Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth, Sydney and Brisbane. As well as the benchmarking survey, the Roadshow has also hosted a sales booster presentation. Finally this week, Andrew Wardy Ward, New South Wales Sales Manager, Commercial and Industrial at Konica Minolta, and the founder of the Head Above Water 24-hour swimathon, is aiming to raise $5,000 himself for the charity this year from his swim. The group as a whole is aiming to raise $150,000. Ward is aiming to swim 100 laps of Collaroy Rock Pool, which is 5 kilometres, in Sydney on the 22nd and 23rd of March. That's a 24-hour overnight swim. Ward said every donation, no matter the size, will contribute to the mental health programmes that can make a difference in someone's life. go to the story on print21.com.au and follow the link to make a donation. That's it for this week's episode of Play Print21. Go to print21.com.au for all these stories and more, and you'll find the news there you won't find anywhere else. This is Wayne Robinson, editor of Print21, signing off for another week.